Hello, fellow cinephiles, and welcome back to the Talk Film to Me podcast. This is episode 3, and here we talk about films in Kenya and beyond. I'm your host, Nkatha. Let's talk film. So today we are not doing a review. I will start by introducing a guest, Director Superman. Hi, Superman.
Hi, Nkatha.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Fine. Superman is not really a visitor on this podcast. You were here on season
Yeah.
1, and
Yeah,
it
I was.
wasn't like this, yeah?
No, so much has changed. There's
We
a
thank
lot's
God.
changed.
We thank God,
You're
man.
doing
We
good.
thank God.
You're doing good.
Thank
Fantastic.
you. Thank you. We're literally chatting about the most memorable Kenyan films that we've watched since way back. I'll just start by throwing Wingu la Moto into the mix. But yeah, that way back, guys. So
Wow.
yeah, today lot no akna memory. We see what have we watched in the past years that caught our attention.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'll let you introduce yourself first. I'm sure there are new people here.
So, hi, everyone. My name is Director Superman, but my real name is Brian Mwangi. Director Superman is my creative name. I am a filmmaker, story maker, storyteller, visual artist. I go by many titles, but essentially I make films just like Nkatha here, and yeah, feel right at home. This is where we are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mbona uambiwa tuko IMDb rated?
You know, we did. I feel like this is a recap of season 1 because
I
you
know,
you asked me
right?
the same question.
I asked you the same because you're always humble about it. You don't want to talk about it. Please let people know niko na watu wa nguvu on this
Yeah.
seat, yeah?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course. No, I am IMDb rated for a short film I did in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Roses Are Red.
Where can we watch it?
You can find it on YouTube. You can just search Gitch Films Production. You'll find it there. Yeah, it was a short film, an excerpt from a book called Roses Are Red by an author called Janet Milstein. So a lot of people worldwide have done it as a monologue, but I collaborated with JB Keshohe, shout out, who is an amazing actor, brilliant stuntsman and producer. He thought of, the whole idea was his. So he thought instead of just putting a phone and recording a blank monologue, why don't we try and do a short film of it? And that's where he called me, and we did it. I shot, directed, and edited it.
Excuse me, you shot, directed, and edited.
I did not. We shout out to my crew, of course. We had a gaffer, we had a set photographer as well.
Okay.
We had a production manager, but we just wanted to keep it, low key and somewhat reserved. We didn't have quite the big budget to make a whole crew and
Okay, I get
all
it
of that.
now. Yeah.
But yeah, we went on and did it, and JB was the one that put it on his channel. Went on ahead and applied for an IMDb rating, and that's when he gave me a call this year, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, it still hasn't sunk in that I am IMDb rated, but
Bruh, like what I can tell you is you cannot make a shit film out here.
Of course.
Basically,
Of
that's
course.
what it means.
The standard's been set.
Standards have been set.
For sure.
This seat is hot.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to review it.
I mean,
I'm going to say, you remember that guy who came here, Superman? Yeah, he did a shit film.
I will never allow that to happen.
Good.
No, I'll never allow that to happen. Of course.
Good to hear. What is the first film you can remember watching since as young as you were?
The first Kenyan thing I thought I had or I thought I saw that related to me from a very young age, and this is authentic, this is Kenyan,
Yeah.
was actually a Kikuyu show.
Damn.
And
That's a shock.
the lead actor.
Modo Anyoba.
Oh yeah, Modo Anyoba.
Uh-huh.
The lead actor was Mashangi. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh my god.
I don't know about you. I mean, we could do mine and we could do yours.
Okay, yes, sure. Mine is Makutano Junction.
Yo.
I don't know if that tells
I have
me
that on my
age.
list as well. No?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That show happened. We were so young.
We were
then.
so young.
We were so
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
We were children at that time. But man, I'm doing a disservice not recognizing
Not
his
recog-
name.
Honestly, there were so
Yeah,
many
there were very many
stars
characters, yeah.
who were
Yeah.
in Makutano Junction, and
Yeah.
they're still very much in the Kenyan film
course,
space. So again,
course.
I understand why.
I used to come
Bah.
every Saturday, I remember.
Yeah.
It was Club Kiboko first, and then we'd switch to Citizen and
Yeah.
watch.
Oh my god,
yeah.
those were good times.
Those were the
Good.
days. Those
Sai
were the
watu
days.
wana watch nini?
I have no idea.
Carousel. Hata carousel ni ya kitambo.
Baby Shark, you know,
Baby, oh
and all
my
of
god.
that.
Na siku hizi hadi iko na a hip hop version.
Baby, I'm the baby shark. Mommy, that's the mommy shark.
Yeah.
Daddy, that's the daddy shark.
I'm like, excuse me, what?
I mean, I think the time childhood was during our
During our
generation, for
generation,
sure,
yeah.
Cartoons, when cartoons were cartoons, when
Right?
you know, colors were colorful, when music was
Music was
you
music.
know,
The beat.
you know, shout outs.
Yeah. We'd leave just school at 5 p.m. na
Yeah.
kimbia mbio kwenda watch the beat.
Every time.
Ay. Next on my list, before I jump back to you,
Right.
Wingu la Moto, because I had already mentioned it.
Mhm.
Definitely. I think I've mentioned it because now we have Makena Kahuha, but then we had Esther Kahuha and Ken Ambani.
Right.
And those two, I mean, honestly, I won't lie, I don't remember anything else, or I haven't watched anything else that Esther has been in, but definitely remember again Nini Washera.
Right.
She was, oh my
legend,
god,
champion of industry.
nilikuwa
for
tu
sure.
namwangalia niko like, when I grow up, I want to be that woman.
Yeah. Wow.
Right now, the last show that I watched that she's been in was Country Queen, and she was amazing on it.
I think she's one of Nini Washera is one of the creatives or talents that are out there that have managed to be so consistent throughout their performances.
Yeah,
That the moment she opens her mouth or performs a piece on film,
Yeah.
you know, it's just consistent. You could look at that and compare it to something she did 20 years ago and be like, because you remember Corner, for example,
yeah,
which was I thought that was the best Kenyan series ever done.
that we ever watched. Yep.
It was a really, really good story.
Mm.
You could compare that, her articulation, her poise,
Mm.
the way she delivers her performance as an artist. It's very, very unique.
Yeah.
And it keeps her relevant still today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what Esther has been in, but her daughter is definitely making waves.
Right.
We've seen her on Kina.
A girl Toto as well. She's made a
Oh
she's
yeah,
made a,
Eddie
she's-
Butita's
she's made a cameo
web
a few
nini.
times. Yeah.
Web, what is it called? Web,
Web series,
series.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
It's a really
yes.
good show as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's a really good show. It's hilarious.
It's different.
It's different.
It's very
It's
different.
different.
Yeah, and now he's featuring, you know, real time influencers.
Yeah.
You know,
That man has a good strategy. I
Yes.
can say that for a fact. Using influencers definitely is giving him like ASAP numbers.
Yeah.
Like the minute this influencers all post, we're all running to see, okay. So niko tu like say akona a very smart, kama watch a girl tuto, it's on YouTube, it's free.
Yeah.
Kenyans, we love free things. Go watch it. At least go watch it. Yeah, I'll jump over to you. What else do you remember from way back?
I want to go way, way back. And this is...
God, I hope I'll remember.
I can't even remember. I wasn't born. But I remember, you know, reaching a point where I started watching it now because it went on for so long. And I'm talking about the television comedy show, Vitimbi.
Vitimbi, I remember Vitimbi. Mzee Ojwang, Mama Kaya.
Yeah. Mzee Ojwang.
May he still rest in peace. But yeah,
course.
definitely we grew up again, watch Vitimbi. Now that you've mentioned Vitimbi, we had Vioja Mahakamani, Makoha, Ondiek. Yeah. And also he still rest in peace, the guy on Vioja Mahakamani, Gathu.
Yeah.
He was the prosecutor. I also grew up watching him, and we literally enjoyed watching those things.
I mean, I don't think we talk about these legends as much as we should.
Yeah.
Without them, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
They
Honestly,
paved the way for us.
They paved the way, and we can like, if they had not done it, we wouldn't have seen how far or how much the industry has grown.
Of course. You again?
You again.
You watched You Again? It's on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes. Oh yeah, You Again. You Again.
I mean, it's not anything extravagant or anything, but it's also it's the last film on my list. But it's the simplicity of it, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes as filmmakers, we get so caught up in our
Making a
equipment
complex
and our
story,
budgets
yeah.
and our crew size and our marketing strategies and all of that we forget the fundamental thing about making films, which is the actual story. You know, having a beginning, a middle, and an ending.
Yeah.
Story structure. And having characters that you can actually follow their story from, point A to point B,
Yeah.
and the things that come in between.
In between.
But eventually they complete that journey,
Mm.
and they it's a full circle. It's you leave that theater room, you leave that show, you leave after watching that show, you're like, yes, this is exactly what the story is about.
Yeah.
So if only we could get back to that, because now you have a lot of credits to the filmmakers out here, local filmmakers who are doing incredible stuff and some really big shows. Now we're on platforms like Netflix.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Showmax.
Oh yeah. Those were things that we could never think about like
Things we
back
only
then. It
dream
was
of,
just
yeah.
KBC,
Yeah.
Citizen,
Yeah.
KTN, NTV. I mean, those are the TV stations that we grew up watching. Next on my end, something that I remember, oh my God, Better Days on KTN.
Better Days.
Joyce Musoke. Better Days was good. I knew her as Shiko.
Right.
We all loved, and by we I mean my siblings and I. We loved Better Days, especially my elder sister. Hey, like ilikuwa tu inafika hiyo time because our parents would require us to like do everything before sitting down to watch. Yani wezi keti na amani watch kama kazi. Vyombo zimeoshwa. Sijui nyumba imeoshwa. Ceiling imeoshwa. Like just something. So we do everything because tunajua Better Days inakuja, and you sit there and we loved it. Better Days was amazing. Okay, over to you next. Which one do you remember?
So let me take you back. 2006 on the first episode of Tahiti High premiere.
Oh my God, yes.
You remember?
Yes.
It's a long time
Oh
ago.
my God. I so badly wanted. You guys lied to me. Nilikuwa natamani kwenda high school.
Yeah?
So high school was I hated high school.
You know what? They made high school look so bougie.
Good and,
so
and
good.
good. They romanticized high school for me.
We wanted to, press it. If there was a skip button in life, we just press it and shift to high school.
Oh God. I would have done it.
You would have done it?
Yes.
Yeah?
If it was exactly Tahiti High.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the iconic thing about it, given the many years that it went on air for so long,
and it's still there.
Still there.
Oh my God, it's still there. It's still airing. Still on Citizen.
Wow.
I know.
The longevity then. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Right?
But I mean, let's be honest. The meat of the story were the originals, OJ.
Yeah.
And,
Mkuru,
Phil. Sarah.
Sarah has. Oh my God, Tanya. I just wanted to be Tanya when I got to high school.
Yeah.
I was crazy about just getting my hair to be long. Sheesh, right now, I did a review of one of the films she's done. She's now a producer, guys. She's produced Act of Love, which I think is doing rounds. I think I'll put it up internationally. Yeah. It's a really good film. If you haven't listened to that episode, you can now find all the episodes now on YouTube. So you can listen to it, Act of Love. But she's a dope producer now. And sheesh, like, this girl can act. Like, by then, I don't think I was figuring out that they were acting. Used to just think that these people are terrible people in real life. And I realized most Kenyans still have that notion. Because I moderated a conversation where I had her. Yes. She's called Charlene Wangari and Naomi Mboro, who are the producers of Act of Love. And they'd meet with a lady kwa street, Apo Railways. Kenyans, but wamama wajui watu wana-act. Anamchuna tibu, wewe, ni kwa nini una-act hivyo? Haufai kuongelesha watu wazee hivyo.
Wow.
And she's like, do you realize like that is a person on screen? That is not me.
Right.
That is a person on screen.
It's a character.
It's a character. Yeah. And I was like, Ushish ni mbaya. She's a bad girl. I like that.
PG-rated.
PG-rated. No, like bad, like she was rude. I don't know why we romanticize all those things, but it looked cool. As a teenager, it looks good to be that bad. And Tanya, Omosh. Right. Oh my God, Omosh. Omosh, if you ever get a chance to watch this, you are a legend. Get back to the acting space, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's sad to see how the trajectory of his life went, but there's always room for redemption.
Right.
Let's just leave it at that. There's always room for redemption. Miss Morgan.
Oh man, just in the same bracket, just fit him with Mr. Kilunda, and then
Mr. Kilunda, yes, yes, and Peter Kamau was also in. Peter Kamau was in it. What was his name? I don't remember. But I remember thinking, oh my God, those teachers are so hot. And I want to to make sense in my head and go like, what am I thinking those teachers are? Right now I understand, they're handsome. It's just that. But Miss Morgan,
Miss Morgan.
can you explain what that whole reaction was that you just did there?
No, I mean,
All the boys on Tahiti High were crazy about Miss Morgan when
Right.
she first came onto the show. And I was
Right.
like, oh, mama. And I thought high school was like that until I got to, there was no Miss Morgan.
No,
It
no,
was
there
just
was
terrible deputy teachers and principals.
there
And,
was no Miss Morgan, but there was Molly Muamath. You know that's the
oh
thing.
my God.
You know,
Yeah.
we all had that. But Miss Morgan, it's a very interesting character because
Right?
she started off. She came on board. All the characters, all the students were, the boy students were like, yeah,
So crazy
so
about her.
crazy about her, and they
Mm.
admired her, and they had this very open-hearted feel about it when they wanted to approach her. But then over time, she stamped authority as
Oh,
I think she was the deputy principal,
I think she was the. Did she end up as a principal?
or and ending
I
up as the
think
principal.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After the legendary actor who was the principal then.
Yeah.
What was his name in the show?
Mr. Tembo.
Mr. Tembo.
Mr.
Yes.
Tembo.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, an amazing character.
He felt like I used to watch him and see my dad. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey man, like you feel so bad kukosea.
It was
Mr.
definitely
Tembo,
a
but-
presence. He didn't even need to like shout or do anything.
Yeah,
about it. You
he
just
had a
knew-
good
yeah.
stage presence.
Yeah.
You could
he
just
did.
feel it from
You
the
could
screen.
feel his presence
Yeah.
in the film as well. So,
All
how
right,
about you?
Tahiti High. Cobra Squad.
You know what? That was the next thing.
Alfred Mutua, right?
Alfred and Mutua.
Alfred Mutua. We want Cobra Squad back on our screens. And right now we have better technology, we have better cameras, we have better storytellers. Make something. I think it would break bank.
I think so too.
I think it would break bank if it came back.
It would, but then the thing about remakes is if something has been going on for so long, it has that organic feel about it.
Yeah.
That to try and to even attempt to make a remake, you'd have to, because again, you have to recast, you have to, look at who's new, what's trending, and all that. Just to take away from the originality of it and try and implement it in a new atmosphere is the challenge.
Okay,
but
yeah, you make a point.
it was
a
the
point.
biggest
Cobra Squads.
action.
I used to look forward to
investigative
because I
show.
remember it would come on Sundays.
Yes.
After church, I'm excited. So we had this tradition as a family.
Right.
Every Sunday we used to cook chapati. Ikifika 7, kuna ako ka feeling 7:30 tushamaliza kupika, tumeserve food, ni kuwatch, and my parent won't even send me ati nipe chumvi sijui niende Magic Kitchen.
Right.
They were nice enough to let us sit and watch Cobra Squad, and I loved it. It was to come on NTV, right?
Yes. On Sundays.
On Sunday, Oh my God, I loved Cobra. I loved that show. I think nilianzisha podcast kitambo.
Like
Because nilikuwa naanzisha hizo
uliwatch every Monday we would all like meet
at
in
break
class, break
time.
time in the morning kabla wafungue classes,
Yeah.
and talk about the shows we watched over the weekend, last night.
Yeah.
Hey, uliona venye nani kulienda, and stuff.
Haukuwatch?
Yeah, hukuwatch, ilienda
Stima
hivi.
ilipotea kwenyu?
Back then when
KPLC?
you used to tell everyone the plot of a film,
Yeah.
and then they'd be like, wow,
Yeah.
blow their minds, and then just see the power of storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cobra Squad. If we could just have it back.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think even I care about the organic feel, because I feel like they would do it so much better.
You
right
think so?
now. I feel.
Would you
so.
want to direct it?
Damn, you're putting me on the spot right now.
Yeah, who
I'm trying to get these people to come here and give me jobs.
They're gonna come, mention them.
In all honesty,
Mm-hmm.
I have a mix of 3 directors.
Oh, this is fun. Okay.
Victor Gatonya.
Right.
I'd want Tosh on it for the visuals. Michael Smalls. He's an actor. He's been on Single Kiasi, but he co-directed Click Click Bang.
Okay.
And I feel like the actors really did a good job. I mean, I can tell a good story when... Oh, yes. I think I'll still continue adding. I'd want Mkuru to be on it to keep structuring the story. He's a really good storyteller.
Some Mkuru to write it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, I feel like directors have different capabilities on what they can direct, what they can make
That's true.
really good.
Yeah.
And I think Michael Smalls is promising. I mean, I've only seen one of his jobs, so ningemweka hapo tuone what he can do with it.
Right.
But maybe I can think of someone later on. But those are the people I'd put on like the whole directing for Cobra Squad if I was to do a remake.
I mean, how does the skill vibao Janitaja? But
Sorry.
so it's all good.
Oh my god.
It's all good. But yeah, I agree. I mean,
Guys, Ndadu. Sorry.
no, it's fine. It's fine. You're good.
Okay.
So Tosh, Victor, and Smalls. Smalls was also in Volume. I think he edited.
Really?
Or who edited Volume? I don't know.
No, the editor is called VBox.
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 And you worked with him, sorry.
Yes, I've worked with him. So
Yeah.
it was VBox, yes.
Right. My apologies.
Sorry.
But there's a film that came out that was so profound, so good.
I'm trying to remember it.
It was called The First Grader. Remember it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It starred Mr. Oliver Litondo.
Yeah.
Legendary film.
It's on Netflix if you haven't watched it.
It's on Netflix?
Yes.
I mean, the story about it is...
I won't lie, I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it? You should.
It's on my list though, I swear.
It's worth your while, I guarantee you.
Mm.
The then president, the late Mwai Kibaki, he declared free education across board.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Every child in the country could go to school for free.
For free, yeah.
And the story is based in, the village. And so as all children are going to school, one story stands out in that a very, very old man, an 84-year-old man.
84. Bruh, 84.
Yeah, 84 years.
Yeah.
He goes to school. And that's primary school. And that's like his fellow students, pupils, first graders. They're literally first graders.
That's why it's called first grader.
That's why it's called first grader.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's the story. Story was done by BBC, and they partnered with a bunch of few other companies as well. But it was so good. It was a very good film. It was a timeless film. I look at it now, and I'd sit down and watch it again.
Okay. I promise I'll watch it this weekend. Hopefully.
Please.
Okay.
Please do it. So he has to go to school to learn how to read because he has a certain letter that was written to him by the government. So he can't read it, but he doesn't want to give anyone else to read it. So he wants to read it himself. That's why he's going to school.
Damn.
And then the challenges that come with that, of course, he faces, he faces opposition from the community. They're like, "Where's an old man going to school? How do you do that?" He's shamed for it. But in the end, he celebrated.
In the last 5 years, what have you found really interesting? The most interesting film that you've watched in the last 5 years now? And I think now, if we say in the last 5 years, definitely things have changed.
Yes, a lot.
We have better equipment, better
Correct.
technology. There are now distribution platforms.
Yeah.
Internet is there.
Yeah.
So this could be even a web series. We have now broadcasters. I mean, again, broadcasters, I don't know why they're shying away. So just a bit of policy knowledge. The government, would I say, there's a policy that 60% of whatever airs on TV should be local.
Yeah.
Currently, it's only 40%.
Wow.
And out of that 40, I think Citizen is the only one that has local content. And then again, they produce their own content. So
Correct.
Does that count really? It doesn't. Think of NTV.
Yeah.
I don't know anything local that comes at 8:30. I mean, I don't watch TV nowadays. I don't have a TV in my house. Samsung, hi. I need a TV in my house. It's a projector.
For sure.
But really, if you think about it, it's just crazy. What do you mean more than 60%? Why are we watching Mexican films when Kenyan filmmakers are out here busting? I was about to say a word.
It's all right. You can say it.
Busting their asses to work, like they are working their asses off to produce films.
Yeah.
There are good Kenyan films that can be put on there. Some that unfortunately now are on SVODs, are on Netflix and
Right.
Showmax. I mean, not disputing that they should be there, but
Mhm.
some people cannot afford to pay for their subscription. So how do we get them to watch Kenyan films? And then we complain, oh, Kenyan people don't watch our films. Some people can't afford these things.
Mhm.
And those who can not afford, we say, okay, their YouTube series, they can go and watch. Can they do they have internet? Do they have those devices?
Yeah.
I mean, again, we can argue internet is available for most people. We can argue smartphones are available for most people as well. But really, how else can we make these films available? But anyway, again, nimekuwa too passionate about it. We'll dive
No,
into it
let's
on
be passionate. Why not? We are filmmakers after all.
Thank you.
We speak from passion. You know, to your point there, in film, technology shifts and changes every 2 years. You know,
Oh yeah.
right now you're shooting. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. You're shooting on a Sony A7 III series. 2 years from now, there'll be a better camera than this one. You know, there already is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is this 4K quality, top notch. But
Yeah.
it's not what it was. There was on Sony 7 II series. There was another one before it.
Yeah.
Technology shifts and it changes.
Agreed.
And the world is moving at a very rapid pace right now. And those that left or fall behind are going to have a really difficult time catching up.
Yep. True.
Mainstream media, and it's really sad that it had to take a whole policy to convince them to play local content,
and it's still not working,
and it's not
like
being
100%.
delivered. Yes. But that's all right. You know why? Because now we have social media, and you can literally shoot something on your phone right now and just post it on YouTube. You're gonna get if it's good, if it's good, if it's really good, if it's catchy, you're gonna get so many views. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You have all these things. You have all these tools at our disposal. So if they refuse to help us as creatives to tell stories, then we're gonna move away.
We're going to move away from them.
There are people that want our stories. There are people that want to support us in what we do. And it's interesting because now that we have social media, you mentioned there you don't have a television in your house, you're using a projector. I mean, you're not the only one. Some don't even have projectors. They just use their phones to go Wi-Fi. That's it.
That's it. You're good to go.
You're good to go. You can stream anything you want on your phone. So mainstream media is dying. Let's just be honest. The only thing keeping them relevant now is news. And that's why you got stations coming up with, there was the mother channel and now there's a sister channel solely dedicated to, telling news and stories like that. So
crazy.
If they won't support us, we'll move on to people and organizations that would want to support us. And we don't need to go that route. We have all these distributors who want us to tell stories, who are paying us good money to tell these stories. Also want to talk about, awards ceremonies in this country, but I mean, we could talk about that a bit later.
Sure.
So you've asked me in the last 5 years. I have like just 3 more movies to go, and then that's it. Right?
Okay, let's go. I don't think I have any that comes at the top of my mind, so take over.
So 2017, right? Actually, 2010 still. 2013, sorry. You remember Nairobi Half-Life?
Oh my God.
How can we forget that?
How can we forget that?
It literally put us on the map.
It did, and put Tosh on the map.
It did. I think that's the first time.
And I think the production company was called One Fine Day.
One Fine Day.
And it's from Germany.
It is. It's still relevant to today. I understand they are an organization that
has the Some Fine Day. I think it's the one.
I think they support local artists.
Yes.
Globally.
Yeah.
If you're a producer, if you're a director, you come up with a story, they bring you guys together, give you the funding to go shoot
do a film.
So really, credits to them what they did. But Nairobi Half-Life, man, that was a really, really powerful story. Still relevant today.
Still to date. And is it on Netflix?
I think it's not.
No, it's on My Movies Africa though.
Movies.
It's
Okay.
on My Movies Africa, and I think it's free on My Movies Africa.
Right.
And now I know this sounds like a paid ad. Nobody's paying me, guys. But My Movies Africa does not require you to have like a subscription.
Yeah.
So just get the app. I'll put a link in the description box. Just get the app and you can literally watch it for free. And My Movies Africa has some free films. So if you're not watching Kenyan, you're not watching Kenyan by choice.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on forward.
So I mean, proves the point. You know, the
Yeah.
platforms that are willing to take our stories
yeah.
and put them on their platforms.
Yep, yep.
We could be able to monetize
Yeah.
as well.
Mm.
That's on Nairobi Half-Life 2013.
Mhm.
2017, there was an unfortunate incident that happened in this country, and that's there was a bus that was traveling to. I had over 100 passengers. Was traveling to Mandera.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
And somewhere along the way,
Yeah.
you know,
Bandits.
they got raided by it was actually Al Shabaab.
It was
a terrorist group
Okay.
that actually, stopped them.
Mm.
And their main intention was to kill all the non-Muslims.
Oh my God.
It was
I'd die. I'm a
really-
Christian.
Yeah. So it was a very, very touching story. And Al Jazeera has done a story on it, CNN have done a story about it. It was global, it was big news.
Yeah.
But what stood out wasn't the fact that the terrorists wanted to kill these people. What stood out was the Muslims in the bus, the women wearing hijabs, would give the Christians in the bus to wear them so that they could appear Muslim. Because one of the commands that they were giving was, if we want to, they're going to separate all the non-Christians
From the Christians.
from the Christians.
Literally just by.
Literally by looks. I don't know the full story. I don't want to give any misinformation, but that was the overview. Is that despite a very, very difficult moment.
Wait, let me interject. What
yeah.
was the name of the film?
So the film was called Watu Wote.
Watu Wote.
Yeah, it came out in 2017. It was a short film, 23 minutes. I don't know where it is now, but
I'll find out.
Yeah, it was a really beautiful piece because it pictured it just was based off true events.
True events, yeah.
Something that happened, and it just the messaging of it. I found it powerful because it showed that film can be used as a tool to show what actually happened, and that despite our differences as a people, despite our cultures, our religion, that love trumps and transcends everything. It's
religion doesn't matter, class, ethnicity doesn't matter. Yeah.
If you're both faced with a difficult situation, and I could be able to help you get out of that situation, it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are.
True.
We could actually do something about it. And I feel that that's what stood out for me. I really celebrate that film. So on to something a bit more lighter. 2018.
Okay.
2018. There's a film that Likario Noinaina did. It was called Supermodo.
Yeah. I was good. Definitely.
Oh,
Likarion is a G when it comes to short films. I'll say he's really. I don't know. He's just mastered the art of short films. I would say. Supermodo was that, if I can describe the film, it's when it's cold and you get a blanket and it's warm inside. Such a sweet story.
Correct.
I would say.
Correct.
Such a sweet story.
The way the story was told, I mean, the writer could have decided to just stick to this beautiful baby girl and her illness, a terminal illness.
Yeah.
I could have just decided to stick with it and just go with it and just show the little things that the focus on the illness.
Yeah.
End it at that.
Yep.
She had a life and then one day it ended. But no, they were very creative with it.
Yeah.
In that they wanted to describe or give this little girl who has a terminal illness something to hope for, something to live for.
Something to live for, and involve the entire community in it as
for
well.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it because, she's always wanted to be a superhero, this baby girl.
Is that why you call yourself Superman?
We could be cousins.
Well,
We could be cousins.
Stacy, you can confirm.
But yeah, I mean, she's always wanted to be a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that the writing of it, it was really good. That the mother and the sister all played a huge part in letting this child know that, in spite of what she's going through with her illness, that she can actually live her dreams, and that they went above and beyond to involve the community to make her actually achieve
Feel
this
like
dream, feel like a super. The scene that stood out for me was the one, and maybe for everyone, was the one that Stacy is walking to the market with her sister, and then someone steals the sister's purse, and then the sister is shouting at Stacy, "Stacy, you're a superhero! Do something
do
about
something!"
it!" And then she just stands her ground and she's like, "Stop!" And then everyone freezes. It's like time stops. Time just stops, and that scene was so iconic. And I thought that was really creative, very, very.
That's the most. I think that's the most visually.
That
the scene that I can remember the most, like very exactly how it was. Was a really.
It was really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was really good.
Everyone stops. I mean, it looked so real.
At first, I was like, "Maleo dem gonna superpowers."
I mean, I looked at it. I was like, because I was still studying film at the time. But I looked at it. I was like, the amount of keyframing that went into this, editors will understand. The amount of keyframing that went into this to pick out each subject and then just like freeze time. Yeah, because it's editor's language. But yeah, I mean, keyframing. You select a subject or an object, and then if you're applying effects or any type of effects or edits, you're just applying them to not the whole picture, but then that just that one area that you've highlighted. So
that sounds like a lot of work if you have to do it for everything.
It is, but with technology moving, things are becoming a bit easier now. But yeah, I was like, that the amount of complexity that went into it. But then I figured that it was probably direction, and then Ricardo was like, so ikifika hii time mtoto akishout hivi kila mtu freeze kwenye huko na usisonge hata usipumue. Kama umeshika karatasi shauri yako usitetemeke. So I felt like that's what they wanted to achieve, and they achieved it perfectly.
Interesting.
So that was a really beautiful scene. And then my last film would be 2019 You Again. I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if you've watched it. It's on YouTube. It's
You Again.
It features Nick Mwendwa and
Nick Mutuma.
Nick Mutuma, sorry. It stars in it.
Was Sarah in it?
No.
Sarah Hassan.
No.
Who is in that film? I can't.
I should have wrote down the names, but
I've watched it kitambo. I can't remember the stars, but definitely remember Nick's face.
Right.
We'll get into it.
I mean, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. You Again. Yeah. So I was talking about You Again, right? So I mentioned it earlier. It's a romantic comedy. It's a show. It's a film. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to highlight the scriptwriter, who is none other than Natasha Likimani.
Yeah.
She has pedigree. She's done shows like Makutano Junction. She's been on that. She co-wrote Volume as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah, for real. If you look up the credits.
Excuse me, what?
She did.
I will hold my
comments.
Did.
She also co-wrote Disconnect. Remember?
Okay.
So I looked at that film and I was like, the simplicity of it, right? So the story is about.
Let me. It's funny.
Yeah.
Did you like Volume? Just so that I don't put it on you. You gave it your rating, yeah?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
You are.
Volume and You Again.
Yeah.
It's the same writer. What makes it different?
I would argue Volume and what?
Volume and You Again.
No, I'd argue You Again, Natasha wrote it on her own. Like, she was the sole writer. Volume,
okay.
There were 3 different writers.
Yeah.
So, to me, if I were to look at You Again and I were to look at Volume, I'd say that Natasha didn't write the entire script, but parts of it.
Yeah.
And the parts of it are the ones that I actually like.
Yeah.
Because her greatest strength I
Mhm.
feel watching you again
Mm-hmm.
is in her dialogue. It is so,
Yeah.
they'll never tell you this. But as a scriptwriter, the most challenging thing you can face is writing dialogue. Do you know how hard it is to sit down on a computer
Mm-hmm.
or even a pen and paper
Yeah.
and imagine a character out of nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just actually say, this is Julius,
Mm-hmm.
this is Nkatha.
Mm-hmm.
Julius will tell Nkatha, hi Nkatha, how are you? Nkatha will respond, I am fine, Julius.
Mm-hmm.
And then so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
You go on there and then you have to draft an entire scene. And then you have to imagine that the things that this person is saying are not the things that I would say.
Yeah.
They're not the things, it's not, sorry, are not the things that, because you have to read that script and be like, do real people actually talk like this? You know? Like, if I wrote something and it sounded so plastic, I'd be like,
yeah.
do people actually talk like this? Do I actually
Good
talk
point.
to do I
Good
actually talk
point.
to you and I'd be like,
Mm.
hi Nkatha, like we're talking now. Hi Nkatha,
Hi.
have you gone to the washroom?
That's
You know?
okay.
That's
Yeah, I
that's
get your
not
point.
in reality. I wouldn't ask you that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'd be
Mm.
like, hi.
I get your point.
You know,
Yeah.
so it has to make sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like Natasha has mastered that in her dialogue.
Yeah.
Because even in you,
Even just the flow of
Yeah.
how, if I told you this is what highly likely in
Right.
a normal conversation,
Yeah.
this is what you'd respond.
it's very relatable, and it's very, 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 very relatable. And you know, a script is good when you're watching a movie, and there are parts of that movie when the dialogue is happening, and you just smile. You know, it's like you're having a conversation with that person.
Yeah.
And I have to applaud her for that, because that was good mastery of dialogue.
Yeah.
And I think she did an amazing story. So yeah, it's a story about, you know, two people who are in love,
Yeah.
and then they fall out of love, and then a few
That's
years,
the thing.
yeah, a few years
Ha.
later, the girl or the woman applies for a gig or a job to be a news anchor, and she lands it, and then she on the day she reports to work, she understands that she's not just gonna host the show on her own. She has to host it with her ex.
Her ex. Oh my god.
And so you can imagine the love work balance that comes with it.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of history. There's work. There's how you balance that out. So that was the premise, and I love that she stuck to that.
Yeah.
And everything she wrote and everything that she did revolved
around that.
She didn't try to go astray. She didn't try to bring in different characters. Very grounded. It only has like 4, maybe 5 major characters. That's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
Like, a good story does not need, CG, this character is related to that, and then that, and then stop trying that Tyler Perry thing, guys.
Fantastic.
You're moving on forward very swiftly.
Mia Culpa, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You were very passionate about that. Yeah, but I mean, it just brings me to remember I was reading something, and a child actor we once knew. You know, I'm talking about Machachari now. The characters that were there, you remember Machachari?
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention that, but
Yeah,
that was a really
it's
good,
a huge film, huge TV show.
huge TV series.
Yeah, it did really well. And I think that's the first, maybe the only film the only TV show that went mainstream that talked about, that highlighted children or starred children.
Yeah, starred children.
You know,
and we saw life from children's perspective.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it was really relatable. And growing up, we would relate to that because that was us. You know?
Yeah.
Those were a representation of who we are.
True.
Kwa wale watu wenye tunaenda nje, tunaenda Dufumpara road, tunarudi home, alafu tunapigwa na wazazi juu tunanuka sewage na vitu kama hizo. You know, boys being boys. And yeah, that's what it was about. And that was really good. And the show ended after a few years.
Yes.
And I was looking at an interview. I don't know if they're still the program manager there at KBC Citizen. Sorry.
Yes.
But then they were asked why the show ended, and then they said it's that they couldn't continue because it didn't fit the audience, is what he said, something like that. Because then the kids have now outgrown their characters. So the show was meant to be about children.
Children, okay.
And now these stars have grown up.
Okay.
And
What do you think about that?
I mean, they said they would. Sorry, they said they would do a story about. They would start another show called Jabari or something like that, Johari, something like that. That was supposed to be a continuation.
Yeah, I think I've heard of something of the sort. I think I might have.
I don't think I saw any of it.
No, there's nothing yet.
No,
I might have heard about it though.
So here's the thing. The show ended, the children grew up, everyone pursued their own lives. Now we don't know where they are, or we do, but it's they're not the famous actors we once knew,
right?
The ones that we really loved. And my thing is, as a director, we have a moral obligation to our actors.
Okay.
If I have an actor doing a performance for a film, as an actor, I can easily get lost in my vision, and I want them. I don't see them as human anymore. I just see them as characters that have to portray what I need for me for them to give me that Oscar-worthy performance.
Yeah.
And then you push those characters, you push them to their limits and even beyond. And what in turn that does is you end up with, it does something, to their psyche, to their psychological, it has a psychological impact. However subtle it may be.
I agree.
Because if you look at, Joker, for example, the film.
Yes.
We all know Joker from the comics, from the cartoons. He's supposed to be insane, right? But he knows what he's doing. It's very malicious. It's very evil.
Yes.
But he's supposed to be this very evil person.
Yes.
And so if you have an actor that's never done anything like that before, and then you bring them into this world where this character demands that they become this different version that they've never been. As a director, as a production company, you have that moral obligation to make sure that after they give you that performance, you have to ground them back to who they were or even improve them better. That their characters don't go outside the screens and the frames, that they're still that person. If you're a mother,
I think I'll interject you for that one.
Yeah.
I would say, I think what you're trying to describe is what I call derolling.
Right.
I think generally derolling.
Right.
And during the Kalasha Film and TV Market Festival this year, we had a whole session where we had, what are they called? Therapists, counselors?
Right.
And they suggested, and actually the suggestion came from filmmakers and actors saying derolling is a whole, it takes a toll, like exactly how you're, exactly what you're explaining. So basically, I don't think it's the director's work, but if you're a producer, just find a therapist for your actors so that after they can go through a derolling process so that it doesn't affect them and their psyche and what's not for their life. I think that's what I'd say.
Absolutely. I mean, it might not be the director's job to do that, but for me personally, that's what I do with anyone I get a chance to work with, is that I make sure that, hey, remember this is a story of fiction. As a director, my niche is fictional stories. So, I create stories from scratch, characters from scratch, and then I try to make actors fit into this world that I've created, that I've envisioned. And the thing is, you have to make sure that they come back to who they were, if not better, because it takes a toll on them. And so I was looking at, some of these children stars that featured in Matachari, and I look at, what's going on. And
I got nothing to say.
It's really sad. It's really sad,
yeah. Again, there's always room for redemption.
Yeah.
That's good. I would say for some of the stars, at least we can see they're trying to redeem themselves. And we wish you all the best, guys. We looked at you when you were growing up. We wish that the idea and the notion that we saw that these people were going to be stars. We want to see you as stars. Work towards it. We're still here. The audience that used to watch you is still here, and we still want to see you prosper. I think we've...
Yeah, and this isn't to trash Machachari as a show.
No, absolutely
they gave us our best childhood.
Yes.
They did. It's just like to provide awareness for filmmakers out there. That you have a responsibility. There's not just you know, a working environment, that
Mm.
you also have a duty
Yes.
outside to
Mm.
make sure that everyone, is in check and is in
Mm.
balance with themselves.
All right. Damn, that was one heck of an episode. You
That's-
took me way, way, way back,
Yeah.
but you've brought me all the way up to here.
For sure.
What's currently showing on Citizen, if you have any idea? Becky.
It's,
It's
I don't
Becky.
know.
It's Becky. It's Becky because I
Right.
know Amina is on it.
Oh,
Amina is a good friend of mine. Amina is on. It's definitely Becky. It's Becky.
right.
All right. I guess we'll stop at there. This definitely is an episode which we might end up having to do a part 2 next time.
I hope
There's
so.
still a
Yeah.
lot that we haven't mentioned.
No.
I'll just throw Rafiki into the mix. That was a good film. But we can't say much about it right now
Yeah.
because we're about to finish this. So
Mhm.
thank you so much, Superman, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making time.
Appreciate it.
You're definitely a resident guest.
I mean,
Now.
yeah, fantastic. I'm just
Thank you
happy.
so much
Thank
for
you for having me.
coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, of course you have noticed that we're shooting from a new location. We're shooting at the Creatives Garage. So thank you so much, Creatives Garage, for giving us this space to shoot here from. Thank you so much to the crew that is behind these cameras and lights and microphones. Thank you so much, guys. Truly, truly appreciate it. Please remember to follow the podcast on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. We have a WhatsApp channel, and follow me on LinkedIn. Talk Film to Me. I have our newsletter where I write more about these things, film related things, which if you're interested in learning and knowing about film, please go and read. Yeah, I think that's basically much it. Thank you so much. Subscribe, okay? Subscribe. It's a wrap. See you next week, same time, same place. Bye.